Hey, yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, George Michael Perez, a.k.a. GMike, and y'all already know what it is. Back with another episode of the G Perspective, baby. Let's get it. This week, bringing on an old guest, Justin Frazier, to talk about a few football topics, from the whole Bryce Young being benched situation to the rookie quarterbacks and how they've been doing in the first 2 weeks of the season. Denver Broncos and Dallas Cowboys, not looking so good. We get into that as well. And then we get a good prediction on the Jets versus Patriots on Thursday Night Football. Before we get into it, please follow me on all my socials on Twitter at George Mike Perez, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at GMike Media _. And the audio version of this podcast is available on all podcast platforms under the G Perspective and on YouTube as well. And for you sports gamblers out there, I run a Telegram channel where we charge $5 a month to get you daily winnings from $5 to $10 to $50 to $100 plus a day. So you'll see the link on the bottom of your screen, or if not, just hit me up on one of my socials, slide in my DM, and we'll get you on and going. But without further ado, let's jump into the episode, a very exciting, informative one, and let's get it. My dog, Justin Frazier, a.k.a. Freezy. Dog, what's good with you?
What's the word, brother? How you doing?
You know me, man. Living life, working hard. I know you're doing the same. I see you doing with your articles, your videos, keeping it going.
Yes, sir.
After we graduated, it's for what? It's been a
like
few years now?
I must say, yeah, it's been like 2-3 years now. I think 2. So,
yep. Blessing for sure. Love it. Keep working, and we're gonna get to where we want to get to, man. You know,
right.
You know how it is.
Sir.
Hey, man, but I know you're excited. Third week of NFL football starts off tonight in about maybe an hour, with the Jets and Patriots facing off. Jets finally getting their first home game of the season. I know you're excited about football. I know you were hyped all summer, boy.
I was like, excuse me, but I was like a crackhead, bro. I was itching.
No, I feel you. Same, bro. Same. And then October is right there. We're gonna have MLB playoffs. Hockey is on the way. You already know my Florida Panthers got to get that back to back, baby. You know what I'm saying?
I know it won't be the Blues, so I ain't tripping.
I mean, I'm not a big time hockey guy, anyways. But hey, always got to represent. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I gotta plug my damn laptop up real quick. But there we go.
Yeah. And then it's probably going to be week 6, week 7 NFL football regular season. We got NBA basketball about to start kicking off, man. So this will be a good time of year for sports, and one of my favorite times of the year for sure. And I know yours as well.
Yes, sir.
But for now, man, let's just stick with football, man. And I wanted to start off with this news that came out the other day with Bryce Young, and how the Carolina Panthers are benching him after an 0-2 start. Last season, they didn't have a good season as well. They ended up with a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. This season, they start off 0-2. So they're trying to make some drastic changes. The GM, the coaches, the whole front office, they're like, yo, you know what? I think it's time to bench Bryce and put in Andy Dalton. He has shown that he can win in this league. He's been to the playoffs. He hasn't had a lot of success in the playoffs, but he's had a lot of success of winning games. Absolutely. Now, with all that said, man, what is your take on this whole Bryce Young being benched?
It's been a total organizational failure from top to bottom. He himself has not been, I guess, what you would have advertised when he was drafted number 1. I personally had him at QB3 behind C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson, just because at 5'10" and he's barely scratching 200 pounds, you've never really seen a quarterback succeed with those physical outliers. So you look at Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson, but those are actually physical freaks if you think about it. Like, Kyler's super fast. He's got a crazy arm. Russ had a crazy arm, even though his speed is diminished. If you're gonna be that short, you have to be something has to be special physically for you to succeed in the NFL. And Bryce doesn't have that. But that still doesn't mean the Panthers haven't failed him. They failed him last season, firing his head coach only 11 games into the season. Um, Last year, the roster was atrocious. This year, the roster is atrocious, but it is a little bit better. Obviously, adding Deontay Johnson, Xavier Legette in the draft, and they had a slight improvement in the offensive line. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough for Bryce to succeed, sadly.
Yeah, man, and dude, I put a lot of fault on this front office for sure, man. They really dropped the ball on this. They can't surround him with a succeeding team offensively, defensively, special teams. Obviously, he's only on offense. He's the quarterback, but in all aspects, you need the whole team to actually win games. But just to speak on Bryce's situation, it's just like the Panthers, they did all of this to get the number one pick in that year's draft, last year's draft. And they traded away three superstar assets that were in their mid 20s. Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers, DJ Moore to the Chicago Bears, and I can't remember the third guy. So please fill in, Justin, whenever you feel like it. But I know he was a superstar and he was in his mid 20s. So you're trading away three guys that can potentially help you get wins, get you into the playoffs, maybe go deep in the playoffs. Who knows? Maybe win your division. But you trade them away to try to get the number one pick and other assets. Okay, cool. That's what you guys want to do? Fine. Now you get the number one pick. You do not choose CJ Stroud, like you mentioned, or Anthony Richardson, like you mentioned. You go with Bryce Young. Yes, he was very intelligent in college. Yes, he has a nice arm. He could throw it deep, but he's a small guy, like you mentioned. Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson, great comparisons. But he doesn't have the legs like them. And that is one aspect of their games that they can take to the football field and use it on an occasional basis. Bryce Young cannot. He's not a running quarterback. He's not a mobile quarterback. You see it out there. And okay, you choose Bryce. You want to go with that. That's fine. Cool. But now you have a bad season because you want to start the rookie quarterback who goes into a whole different league, a whole different ball game in football. From college to the pros is completely different. They're faster, they're stronger, they're more intelligent, they're more strategic, they're very well coached. The list goes on and on. And you expect him to go out there and give you a winning season off the rip? No, man. And then the second year, now you start off 0-2 and you're like, okay, now we're going to give up on this guy and we're going to put in the backup. I don't agree with that, man, because you're ruining the guy's confidence. He's gonna be out there thinking that he can't do it, that he can't play, that he doesn't belong. And next thing you know, Andy Dalton gets in the games and he does poorly. Now you want Bryce to go back in the game, and what is Bryce gonna do? Oh yeah, coach, I'm gonna go out there. Don't worry, I'm gonna put the team on my shoulders. No, you're gonna diminish his confidence. He's not gonna be thinking the same. He's gonna go out there and do way more mistakes than he did already. So in my opinion, man, it was a bad move for the Panthers, bro, and they should have just kept rolling with the Bryce Young trade and keeping it going, man. It is what it is. The outcome, it is what it is, bro.
I think probably their biggest fear would be losing the locker room just because the way they were losing was so bad. But, I mean, as you mentioned, what can you really expect from Andy Dalton at this stage of his career? I would assume not much. I know Twitter was up in arms when Bryce Young had to throw like he had to jump in the air to complete passes last week against the Chargers. But at the end of the day, like you said, you've made your bed. You probably should lay it. And at this point, you at least got to trade him because you can't expect to just put him back. Like you can't just put him back in November as a starter and just think everything will be perfectly fine. His confidence was already, it seemed to be diminished. So now, as you mentioned again, they probably just completely stepped on it and obliterated it. And hopefully he can build it back up and remember who he was in college and some of the stuff he can do. But for now, it's just a sad, sad story in Carolina.
Yeah, man. Super sad. I don't see them winning for a long time, having an above 500 record at all. But
a long time.
Hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But let's talk about this year's rookie quarterbacks, right? Because we got 5 quarterbacks that we saw go off the board in the first, 13 picks?
Yep.
And or 6 quarterbacks, if I'm not mistaken. And it's been awesome to watch and see how they're going to grow throughout the season. It's only been 2 weeks, so we still got a lot of season left. But the 2 quarterbacks that haven't been playing right now are Michael Penix Jr. from the Atlanta Falcons, because Kirk Cousins is taking that role, of course, and Drake May from the New England Patriots, because Jacoby Brissett is taking that role. But we have been seeing 3 quarterbacks that have started and have been doing some kind of work on the field. First one we're going to start off with is the first overall pick to the Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams. Now, a lot of people have a lot of scrutiny on how he's been playing, on how the team's been playing, and all this, and how they should have been at least 1 game in with a win. They're 0-2, but it is what it is. But I want to hear your thoughts, because I know you had a lot to say before the Bears drafted Caleb Williams, that he a lot of positive things to say about him, and I believe that is true. But I want to hear your insight on how it's going for him right now.
It's not going well, but it's not fully his fault. I think a lot of people are aware of that. But I also think if you just let social media tell it, it's a bunch of people that didn't like Caleb because he paints his nails and I guess he's a little sassy or whatever it may be. Outside of that, though, when it comes to football, it's not much bad to say about Caleb. Of course, there's an adjustment period. It's his second game. And in his first game, they won because of the defense. Obviously, he didn't play well, finished under 100 pass yards. But this past week, I feel like he played pretty well. He was able to get through his progressions very well. He was actually in control of the offensive line, chaining protections, which is something you don't really see from a rookie in his second game, especially on the road against a Super Bowl contender like the Texans. Of course, you don't want to see the 2 picks he made, and he had some accuracy issues, and him and DJ Moore seem to be off. They didn't seem to be on the same page. Really, him and multiple receivers didn't seem to be on the same page. So hopefully he'll get Keenan Allen back this week, and they play the Colts, who are missing DeForest Buckner. They might be missing their first-round pick, Latu. So you just got to hope the offensive line can block a little bit, because they allowed 36 pressures on 48 dropbacks. You never want to see that. You never want to see the 7 sacks. He was getting crushed. So, I mean, all I can do at this point is just try to defend Caleb, because, as you know, George, I'm a big Caleb Williams fan. I do think he will live up to the hype. But it starts with the offensive line protecting him so he can get the ball out to those receivers such as DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Rome Odunze.
Yeah, and thank you for correcting me, because that's right. They are 1-1 because of that big comeback by the defense that ruined my parlay, man. Ruined my parlay big time, man.
Titans.
Yeah, I picked the Titans, man, because I was like, dude, I don't like rookie quarterbacks in their first games. Like, I'm like, I don't like them. I'd rather go with a defense, a proven defense that has been in the league, than a quarterback that's gonna come in there and go lights out, throw 4 touchdowns, 300 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he didn't even have a good day.
It was a smart bet. I think they're like the day the game happened, it was a stat that came out like number 1 overall picks hadn't won a Super Bowl. I mean, sorry, hadn't won their first game.
First week, yeah.
Yes, hadn't won their
first.
Yeah,
they're 1-14 or something like that.
Yeah, and I think he was the first one since like 2002, David Carr. So,
but he didn't win that game. It was defense, but
right.
yeah, you're gonna give it to him, of course.
Of course.
But just speaking on that situation, man, no, I agree with you, bro. I think it has to do with a lot with the offensive line. I think that, there is some mistakes that you want to see Caleb Williams bring down a little bit, that you don't want to see him do. But I do put a lot of fault on that offensive line, man, because, yes, Caleb Williams is a scrambling quarterback, and he'll go out there and try to play make for his guys and his whole team. But if the offensive line is not blocking for him on pass protection, bro, they're going to be getting so much pressure. Like you said, 36 times on 40 dropbacks, bro. That's like 95%. That's so bad. And even the run blocking is pretty horrible too. So if you can't run block or pass block, there is no offense. And if there is no offense, how do you expect a rookie quarterback who's supposed to be a sensational talent to go out there and perform? You can't. You need your offensive line to block for the run, for the pass, so he could do something out there, so he could get the ball to his guys. He got great receivers out there. DJ Moore, like you mentioned, Keenan Allen, like you mentioned, Cole Kmet, and Rome Odunze, the rookie. And dude, he has weapons out there that he could get the ball to. Even DeAndre Swift, that he could catch at least 3 passes a game. And it's, dude, like, he can't do anything out there because that offensive line looks horrible, bro. And it sucks, man. It sucks because you want to see what he can do. You want to see his potential, even though, yeah, people won't like him because he paints his nails. I mean, I don't mess with that for sure. I don't like that. But just to look at his performance as a quarterback, like, you want to see if he can actually perform. But we can't see that right now because the offensive line is not doing their job. And if the offensive line is not doing their job, that guy's running out there like if he's playing flag.
You're preaching. I actually have nothing to add. You're right.
I do want to ask you, though. I do want to ask you because you know how Twitter could be and Facebook and IG and all that, man. And a lot of people are putting a lot of attention on the whole DJ Moore frustration things that are happening during the games. That you see DJ Moore, he's getting frustrated because Caleb Williams is not putting the ball in the right place. He's throwing it over him. He's underthrowing him. He's throwing it out of bounds. He's not getting him to his numbers. Do you think that there is a bigger problem there between DJ Moore and Caleb Williams, or do you think it's just a social media thing that they're blowing it out of proportion?
I feel like social media will always blow something out of proportion just a little bit, just because we don't know what's going on in the day-to-day. Even if there is something going on, I'm confident they'll fix it. It's only week 2. You got to look at DJ Moore. He's technically, sadly, always been on a losing team from the Panthers up till now, and he was good friends with Justin Fields. So if there is a problem, they're going to have to find a way as grown men to fix that because Caleb isn't going anywhere. Obviously, DJ Moore will go somewhere before Caleb does at this point. And DJ Moore's not going anywhere either because he just got an extension. So they just have to find a way to get on the same page, and hopefully there is no underlying issues. But even if there is, they've just got to figure it out as grown men and step up and play ball.
Yeah, facts. And for the people out there that haven't really actually played ball like that, like played high school, college, whatever the case may be, man, like, this happens all the time. People are gonna fight. Teammates are gonna fight. They're like brothers out there. They're gonna get mad at one another because they're competitive. They want to win. They want to score. There's incentives in their contracts too. For like DJ Moore example, he got incentives on how many passes he catches, how many yards he gets, how many touchdowns he gets, and even they probably even take out of his contract if he has so many drop balls as well. So it's like there's a lot that goes into it. And to me, it looks like there's a small personal problem between DJ Moore and Caleb Williams that they need to hash out, talk about, and get it over with so they could get the season rolling and try to get that chemistry rolling and try to get these wins rolling. But I think, like you said, it's something that they can get over because Caleb's not going anywhere. DJ Moore's not going anywhere. So I think at the end of the day, it's just going to be something that is just small, and they're going to get over it, bro. They're going to get it.
They better. They better.
Yeah, facts. The other sensational talent out of LSU, Jayden Daniels, starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders. He looks good out there, bro. He looks good, and he looks like a top fantasy quarterback right now for you fantasy football players. Fantasy football owners, I'm sorry. He's great at rushing the ball. He's great at throwing the ball as well. He looks like he's very poised, even when there's a lot of blitzes coming at him. But I want to hear your insight on what you think on how he's playing.
Man, Jayden he has the trait that will always help rookie quarterbacks. That's his legs. He's super fast, super mobile. And then when you look at it, he's got Cliff Kingsbury, who has given him somewhat of an offense that can help him out because the Commanders don't have a good offensive line. One thing I would like to see from Jayden, because he did this in college and he did it again on Sunday against the Giants, he takes too many hits when he runs. He doesn't slide. He runs like he's Cam Newton, like he's 6'5", 250, when really he's like 6'2", 210. Sorry about what the hell.
You're good.
I don't know. Well, regardless, at the end of the day, he just has to stop taking hits. He has been accurate, though. I believe he had a good game last week. He was like 22 for 33, led a game-winning drive against the Giants. And I think he'll keep improving. He's shut me up in a lot of ways, getting through his progressions. He's been, like I said, accurate. And all they can do is continue to build around him and try to protect him the best they can so he doesn't get injured and get him some more weapons. They traded Jahan Dotson before the season. It looks like they believe in Luke McCaffrey. Obviously, they believe in Terry McLaurin. And Brian Robinson's been good too. So one thing that they just got to fix the offensive line. And as a team, they need to fix that defense because right now they can't cover me or you, George.
Bro, that secondary is looking horrible right now, man. I got T. Higgins at my flex right now, and I'm like, yo, they playing the Commanders this week. Boy, woo, I'm starting him. Hopefully, I mean, he practiced today, so I think he'll play this week.
I hope he does. I got Jamar too, so I need something.
Man, they need to. Man, we gonna talk about this on another episode, but they need to pay that man. Stop playing around, bro. Stop playing around, bro. The guy's a superstar talent.
They need to pay both of them.
Yeah, dead ass. Yeah, if you want to go back to the Super Bowl, yes, and fix the offensive line. It's been 3 years now. It's been 3 years. Like, come on, Joe Burrow looking bad out there because of his hand. He looks like he's still injured. In my opinion, he looks like his hand is still fucked up.
It might be. I've never heard of the injury that he had. Like, I guess it was like a torn ligament in his wrist. I had never heard
wrist leading up to his thumb.
Yeah, so, I never.
You know, you're gripping the ball with your thumb all the time, bro. It's gonna bother for sure.
Yeah, we'll see how he does on Monday. Hopefully, he gets both of us some fancy points.
Yeah, facts. Just take one with Jayden though, man. I love that you brought up the fact that they need to get him more weapons, man. Because that's the damn truth. Like, this guy needs more receivers out there. You just traded away one dope receiver to your divisional rival, by the way. Like, bro, what the hell was that? Like, bro, that shit got me messed up. Yeah, exactly. But dude, yeah, man, they need to get him more weapons, and I feel like they really need to force feed Terry McLaurin too, man. Because you brought in Austin Eckler, you could dump off the ball whenever the blitz is coming, to try to get some 5 to 10 yards and try to get a first down. Cool, I'm cool with that. But dude, you need to force feed like Terry McLaurin, like if it's Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford all there in the week 1, 20 targets. This guy needs to get 20 targets, man, because dude, like, Terry is a great receiver, bro. He got sticky glue hands. He could route run. He is fast. Like, dude, you need to get the ball to him, bro. And I get it. Jayden's out there just learning. He's still learning the ropes, and you could tell he's very confident in himself. Like you said, he goes through his progressions. He knows what he's doing out there, and he likes what he's doing out there. So I think week to week, he's going to be the most improving player from week to week, in my opinion. And if he's out there doing what he does, how he's been doing it the last 2 weeks, he's going to take this offense to another level on which I believe that they can get to. But like you mentioned, if they don't go for the trade deadline and try to get him at least like another a top tight end or another dope receiver to help out Terry on the other side, like, dude, they're not going to be able to go anywhere. And especially in that division that they're in with the Eagles, with the Cowboys, obviously the Giants are trash, but dude, they're trying to make a wild card. At least you got to get them some weapons, man. You got to.
Even if they don't this year, the draft coming up filled with them: Luka Burton, Travis Hunter, Tedero McMillan. They're over these next 12 months. They're gonna have to get to it for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Last quarterback I want to talk about, and it's on your team, my boy. It's on your team, so I know you got a lot to say on this. But it's the boy Bo Nix. I'm sorry, I was about to call him boy. Bo Nix out there, Bo Nix. I'm not gonna even mention anything. I want to hear what you got to say.
I wasn't a Bo Nix fan to begin with. I'm not trying to hate on him because
say the truth, baby.
I have no choice at this point. I was never a Bo Nix fan. I feel like a lot of Bronco fans were just settling when we got the pick. Like my father's a Broncos fan. Before the season starts, he's like, son, I think we got one. I'm like, Dad, no, we don't. No, we don't. And I say this because there's nothing really special. Like, okay, so let's put it like this, right? In the AFC alone, in our division alone, let's start there. You got Pat Mahomes, you got Justin Herbert. So at best, Bo Nix is the third best quarterback in the division. Okay. All right. Let's take the AFC as a whole. So that Mahomes, Herbert, Lamar, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, those are all aliens. Those are alien players. Those are peak players. You still got Aaron Rodgers in there. So at best we're looking at somewhere between the 8th to 10th best quarterback in the AFC if he's very good, because he's not going to be a top 10 quarterback with his skill level. He's a game manager. He's like a point guard quarterback where like it's kind of like Tua. So like Tua can be on time and anticipate throws and hit Tyreek and Jalen, and they'll do the rest. But the Broncos don't have those type of weapons. They don't have those type of guys to where the speed can take over and get you yards after the catch, things of that nature. So not everything's been Bo's fault. I also don't like Sean Payton's play calling. I feel like it's a little bit outdated. But at the same time, I just personally don't feel like Bo Nix is can be a star quarterback. And I feel like that's what you need nowadays. Because if you have to go in the AFC playoffs and first of all, you're bound to have to play 3 of the names I just said. Maybe 2 if you get the 1 seed. More times than not, you're not winning a playoff game against those guys. You're not beating Joe Burrow, Lamar, Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes. No, like, come on, bro. Like, I'm disgusted. I'm not gonna lie. I'm disgusted with Broncos country because we're settling for something we just hope to happen because we haven't had a good quarterback in damn near a decade at this point.
Great points. And you left out C.J. Stroud. You left out Aaron Rodgers.
I did. I surely did leave out C.J. freaking Stroud. That's my bad.
Nah. That's not why I said it, though. The reason why I said that is because it's right what you're saying. Like, there are so many top quarterbacks in that conference that if you're a decent quarterback, the team's not going anywhere, bro. Come on. Like, let's be real. And I don't really have much to add because you hit up all the points, but I just want to say, like, this is another quarterback that I believe needs more weapons because they lost Jerry Jeudy. They let go of Tim Patrick. Now they have Sutton that they only, in the last 2 games, they only gave him 4 targets. How do you only give him 4 targets when he's your number 1 receiver and he's 6'4", 230 and jumps out the gym? I don't understand that. And like you said, like, it has to be the Sean Payton play calling. It has to be. Like,
these boys are frustrating me, man. This is about as sad as I've been Bronco. If it weren't for Georgia, and no to people listening, I'm not a Georgia bandwagon. George will tell you, but
he's been since I met him, which 4 years ago.
Yeah, and so if it weren't for them, I probably just would be football depressed. But the Broncos have me sad. If there was a football fan free agency, I would test it out. But I'm loyal to the soil. Those are my guys. We just gotta do better, man. We gotta do better. I expect the Broncos to be in the market for a quarterback again. If not next summer, the following offseason for sure.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you on that too. Like, just moving on to your Broncos right now. Just overall, I know the defense is it's like in the middle of the pack right now. I mean, I think they can improve throughout the season for sure. I hate that you guys lost Justin Simmons. I thought that was like a big loss for you guys, but your secondary is still pretty good. Your defensive line is still pretty good. But just the overall aspect of your team after these 2 weeks, what are your dislikes and what are your likes from the whole team overall?
After being negative, I'm gonna go to the positives. I love the pass rush so far. If you don't really watch the Broncos, if you don't really watch the NFL, but like you casually watch, you wouldn't know who we have. But like Zach Allen is top 5 in QB pressures through 2 games. We got Baron Browning, Jonathan Cooper, Nick Bonito. We've got a lot. We've got like a pass rush by committee type of group. It's really been effective through 2 games. We really bothered Geno Smith, even though Geno and the Seahawks are dealing with a lot of backups on their O-line. We were also able to get to Justin Fields at times last week. It's a good group. And of course, in my opinion, we have the best corner in the game. Pat Surtain gave him an extension right before the season. So there are pieces there defensively that have been really good. I believe they allowed 13 points last week, 26 the week before, but the 26 wasn't all their fault. The Broncos just couldn't score. You're gonna get tired eventually, and the dam broke. This week against the Bucks will be a good challenge. So the defense has been pretty good for the most part. Struggling against the run, we got to fix that. Negatives, just the offense as a whole. Play calling, the quarterback, the run game. The offensive line has been solid, and I'm trying to find something else positive. Jesus Christ! Oh my God, I'm trying. Special teams
man. Hey.
has been really good. Offensively, it's hard to find many positives right now, George. I'm not gonna lie. It's
No,
real.
and bro, I see it too. You know me, NFL connoisseur. So I'm watching highlights of every game. Maybe not watching every game, but I'm watching red zone. I'm watching highlights for sure for every game.
We don't have any of those highlights. We got a lot of lowlights though.
Yeah. So when you see the highlights of your games, the number one thing that stands out to me is that, like you said, the offense is horrible, bro. Like there's no clicking, there's no runs, there's no rush offense, there's no pass offense, there's no type of consistency when it comes to you guys getting first downs, scoring. It's first down, maybe you get another first down, punt, get the ball back after, go on the second drive, first down, punt. And it's just like, dude, like that's a recipe for for disaster, bro. And it's just like you said, a lot of people want to blame it on the defense, but dude, that defense it's in the middle of the pack of the league right now, dude. And the only way that you're going to win games in today's NFL is that if your offense can put up 30 points. If your offense can't put up 30 points, how are you going to win against the Chiefs? How are you going to win against the Texans? How are you going to win against the Ravens? And the list goes on and on. Like, you're not going to be able to win. You need your offense to be scoring at will while your defense is stopping the other team.
Hey, George, you're in your bag today, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, man.
You're in your bag. I have nothing else to say. We're trash, bro.
Hey, it's a long season though. It's a long season. There's hope for improvement. There's hope for trades. Hopefully Sean Payton stops being a dinosaur and this guy gets a damn telephone. Look at that. I'm saying telephone, a cell phone. He comes down to our age, man, because it's true. I see that he's running the same schemes that he was in the Saints back when they won Super Bowl against the Colts in 2006. Whenever the hell it was.
It's not working right now. I'm down.
It's not. And why not like switch it over to your offensive coordinator? See if he can do some stuff, make some juice out there, give some sauce. Like,
I'm saying this rhetorically because I know you have. Have you seen a Sean Payton interview? He's a very arrogant guy. He's not coming up off the play calling unless hell would have to freeze over.
I guess it's because he's won a Super Bowl. He's had success in the league. Like, he thinks that he knows it all. And dude, it's just like, yeah, bro, remember you had Drew Brees and top defenses throughout those years. You had some great offensive weapons. You had some great offensive line, some amazing defensive lines. And it's now, yeah, the Broncos are not horrible on defense, and their weapons on offense are not out of this world disasterly, but they're not top of the line either. So you gotta change up the schemes, because if not, you're not gonna get nowhere.
You're not lying, brother. You are not lying.
Yeah, but we'll switch it over to my squad. And
this is what everybody wants to hear right here, baby.
And I gotta go off on a rant right here.
Get my popcorn.
I don't understand how we make Derek Carr look like he's fucking Tom Brady. I don't understand how we go from week 1 putting down the hammer on the Cleveland Browns defensively. I'm not talking about the offense. I'm talking about the defense here, folks. How we put the hammer down on the Browns offense, and then The Saints come into town where we're supposed to be amazing at home, and we can't stop shit. And we run the same fucking defense, man coverage throughout the whole game when we're getting cooked. Why not switch it to zone? Why not put some zone blitzes? After they already went up 21-6, whatever the score was in the first quarter, why would you not switch up the defense? Why would we keep running man when dudes are beating us on the deep routes? Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave, goddamn Kamara had 3 touchdowns. And we're supposed to have the best rush defense in the league. What is going on, bro? I don't understand. Freezy, please help me understand. What happened?
Some of it is there's nothing you really could do. Just because the Cowboys defense is still so small as a whole, the linebackers still aren't like you don't want 1980s linebackers nowadays, but you certainly don't want linebackers that are too thin. Like there's linebackers now where you want them to be able to move sideline to sideline, like a Devin White, like not to say he's elite, but that's just an example of who you could have gotten this offseason.
Which we tried.
Exactly. So that would have been a good pickup. It just didn't help because you don't want to get caught not being able to stop the run. So the Cowboys were in base defense a lot because they wanted to stop the run. But they still couldn't because they're not big enough. So as Alvin Kamara is weaving in and out, looking like an ageless wonder, still looking like an elite back as he gets older, then you have to sell out for the run, which leads to, guess what? Now Derek Carr is about to take the top off the defense and go to Rashid Shaheed, just like they did in week 1. Then they got Chris Olave, and, of course, they got weapons all around. Taysom Hill, I'm losing their third receiver off the top of my head, and I apologize. But they've got a lot of weapons offensively, and sadly, Dallas has what it takes to stop the pass, but not when they're selling out to stop the run. And, of course, as you know, you guys are missing DeRon Bland, so you're already playing a backup as your CB2. Diggs is just coming back from injury. It's a lot, but I have no real worries about the Cowboys just because they're a talented group. I know they'll be better. I really think they'll have a better performance this week against the Ravens, but at the end of the day, it's just the Cowboys being. I actually wrote them all in my blog last week. I said this is a Cowboys type of game, a letdown game. They look great blowing out the Browns, and then you get a huge letdown against the Saints. I'm sure you're used to it by now, brother. I'm
Very well said, man. Very well said. No, you don't have to apologize because it's all fucking true, man. Because he's fucking, bro. It's and for the people out there that, because you know how it is, man. There's casuals that watch the game, and then there's people that actually watch the game, bro. And there's way more casuals than there are people that watch the game.
It sure the hell is. Oh my God, George, I think you have NFL Plus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You have NFL Pro?
I don't think so, unless it's included in it.
You should look into it. That saved me a lot of time because
it shows you a lot of stats and stuff like that, right?
It does a lot of stats, and it's easier to find film because, like on NFL Plus, you have to do the whole game. So I've been doing more film postings on my socials just because it's easier to find. You can literally type in Derek Carr deep passes to Rashid Shaheed, it'll come up. Like it's not that like you put in Derek Carr touchdowns, it'll pop right up.
Okay.
So it's
is it an extra cost to the NFL Plus?
I canceled my NFL Plus to get this though. So
does that still include Red Zone?
I don't know actually because I already got Sunday tickets. I don't know.
Okay. Because I got NFL Plus for Red Zone mainly, but you can watch a lot of highlights and stuff too.
Only reason I say that is for the casuals, so y'all can get not you, George, of course, but other people can get right with football, man. Because y'all be saying the wrong stuff on Twitter, and it annoys me.
And this is what I wanted to bring up. Motherfuckers were blaming Dak,
bro.
It's like Yo, you know me, Justin. Justin, you know me. I'm gonna say stuff about Dak when I need to, bro. But last season, he shut me up. He proved me wrong. He went into the playoffs, did his thing. Our defense once again got fucking cooked, just
Man,
like we got cooked last week.
tell him.
And dude, so many casuals saying that it was Dak Prescott's fault why they lost this game. Tell me how the fuck it's Dak Prescott's fault that the Saints scored 44 points. Tell me, how is that the offense anyways? Tell me.
Before they could even blink, they were down, what, 14-0?
Bro, dude. Bro.
You can't expect to go into the game, and this was actually a similar thing when they played the Packers in the playoffs last year. Before the Cowboys could even click a little bit, it was 21-0. Now, granted, Dak threw 2 picks first half. One was a pick 6, sure. But it's the beginning of the game. Like, you're not supposed – of course, you want to score every drive. But let's be real with ourselves. More times than not, it's not going to happen. There's a fill-out process. These 2 games we've brought up, Packers and the Saints, the Cowboys had no fill-out process. They weren't allowed to. Automatically down double digits in the first quarter. So, and then we talk about picks. Dak did throw 2 picks. One was just a heave at the end of the game because they were already down a lot. The first one, his receiver slips coming out of his break. If the receiver doesn't slip, Dak is hitting him right in the chest.
Thank you.
Bro, Dak is a really good quarterback. And I know, George, me and you and Logan and others have had these combos. Dak does a lot. Dak is, first of all, I know a lot of people are going to kill me for this. Dak mentally is top 5. Mentally top 5. He does make mistakes. I'm not denying that. Mm-hmm. But like when you talk about quarterbacks that are able to process quickly, get from receiver 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, just like that, he can do that. Pre-snap, he's very good. I don't have to overly sell Dak because at this point, people just hate on him just to hate on him. But that's a game that's not his fault at all.
Yep. And dude, man, it's just like when Dak deserves the scrutiny, we'll give it to him. We'll give him the scrutiny. But bro, after this game, after last year's second half of the season performance in the playoffs, he does not deserve the scrutiny, man. So you guys out there that didn't even watch the game last week against the Saints, bro, like, just shut up. Just shut up. Because it was the defense's fault. We were playing man the whole game. We got scored on 3 times in a row playing man. Why would you come out the second half and play man again? Why? Come on, man. It's Madden 101, bro. Come on, dog. It's not that hard, bro. Some of these fucking coaches, for real, like, I'm not even playing, dog. Some of these coaches need to play fucking Madden, dog. Because, bro, like, I feel like, yeah, they have good schemes and they have good plays and good trickery, but sometimes the common sense is just not there, bro. And honestly, sometimes I think it's Mike McCarthy too, bro. Like,
it is,
man.
Gerard Mayo said to your point, y'all just might. Gerard Mayo said to your point, he's good at situational football now because of his days as a Madden player. So maybe they should.
You know, sometimes, like, it's not that I just turn on the camera and just talk shit, you know? Sometimes, Justin, we know what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
They're not going to believe us till we get a check mark and
until we're quote unquote experts on TV.
Absolutely. That's the only time they're going to believe us, George. Little do they know the experts on TV just be saying stuff just to get views, but that's neither here nor there.
And one of my top dogs is Stephen A. Smith, but he does that a lot too. He says things for views, and I'm just like, okay, you're smart, you're intelligent, you know how to get people's attention and stuff for sure. But there's sometimes I'll be like, nah, I'm not gonna say that because I don't mean that. Like that's not what I truly think. So I'm not gonna say it. Like,
I'm not good at that at all. Yeah, no. I actually tried it one time and I hated it. I deleted it.
You hated it. You looked at yourself like, you disgrace. I look at yourself in the mirror.
I really felt sick about it, bro.
Right before you're gonna go out with your boys to the club, you're like, you disgrace.
Bro, dead ass looking in the mirror, just like, you sick motherfucker.
right. This Thursday night football game is about to start, so we'll get out of here so you can go watch it. I know I'm gonna go watch it too. But we got the New York Jets. They are 1-1. They're playing their first time at home this season, and you got the New England Patriots that surprisingly they are 1-1 too, and
Yep.
they are 1-0 on the road. So, just for the predictions for tonight, who you got, my brother, and why?
I'm gonna roll with the Jets in a hard-fought defensive game. You look at both these teams; they are finding their way. We'll say on offense. Obviously, the Jets probably have more offensive potential with guys like Brees Hall, Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, but they still haven't clicked just yet. And New England's defense is really good too with Christian Gonzalez against Garrett Wilson. That'll be a fun matchup. Overall, though, I will roll with the Jets. I like, first of all, they're at home, like you said, for the first time, home opener. Aaron Rodgers has returned since last year, and it's a primetime game, short week. I got the Jets, something like 20-16.
Yeah. I think it's going to be close too. Both have great defenses. The run game for both of them are spectacular. I
Yep.
think obviously the better quarterback is Aaron Rodgers compared to Jacoby Brissett, but he hasn't been playing up to par lately. You could tell that the Achilles is still bothering him a little bit, or he's just got to get used to the game, used to the speed of the game. You know, he was out a full year, so that could really take you back. But both teams overall, good teams. I just think the Jets have more on offense. I have the Jets winning by a field goal. Hopefully, it's more than that, but they got the Jets winning by a field goal. And for you gamblers out there, Mike Williams to get 2 receptions and 25 yards
Placing it right now, George.
is plus 140 unless the odds change. But I took it at 140, and I'm telling you right now that hits, and plus 140 doubles your money. So if you put $100, you could win $240. You know what I'm saying? But before we get out of here, Justin, thank you again, and let these people know where they can follow you, read some of your articles, and watch your videos, my boy.
Freezy Sports on Instagram and TikTok. On Twitter, it's Sports Freezy until I get the person who stole my original name. But yeah, that's where you can find me. Also on fansided.com, I write for With the First Pick. So you just put in Frazier and you should see me pop up on there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, you know where you can follow me on IG, TikTok, and YouTube at GMike Media _ on Twitter /X at George Mike Perez. Almost forgot it right there. And then the audio version of this podcast is available on all podcast platforms under the G Perspective and on YouTube as well. Justin, thank you again, my boy. You already know I'm going to have you back on, and we got to get Nick and Logan on here, too.
We get Logan on here, because Logan be in my DMs talking too damn much.
Yeah, we got to get him in here. I want to know what he says about his Eagles, man, because they look horrible.
He was just telling me that enjoying love, and I had to smack him down real quick.
Hey, all I want to say is I don't think the Green Bay Packers should bring in Jordan Love back so quick. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
We'll see what happens. Malik Willis surprised a lot of people. Ruined my fucking parlay.
That one, I didn't even touch that game.
Bro, I thought the Colts were going to do it. They're great against Houston. I'm like, oh, they're going to beat the shit out of the Green Bay Packers. Even though their defense is good, but, you know. But yeah, hey, thank you again, my boy. You already know I'm going to have you back on. Hope you have a good night, and hopefully your parlays hit.
Yours too, brother. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.